Well, it's kind of stormy out tonight. Sheep are a little noisy, but I got home from work. It wasn't quite dark yet when I got home, and I went out and checked on everything, and it all looked good. Everything looked fine. But then I heard a lamb that was not where it was supposed to be. I got to looking around, and I found this little feller. Took me a couple of minutes to figure out who his mama was. She's a first-time ewe, and she cleaned the lamb off good. And I'm pretty sure the lamb had nursed, but then apparently she just walked off and left it. She got scared or whatever, and she went to the rest of the flock, and that's where I found her. So we've got her in jail. Well, I let her out of the head gate. The lamb's still a little timid. She's being better with it than she was. I'd really like to see the lamb nurse and her stand there for it. I think she'd already kind of buffaloed that lamb before. Oh, looky here. Come on, girl. Be a good mama. Still not real sure, are you? Not real sure how this is supposed to go. Yeah, we'll give you a little time here to bond with each other. I don't have any other sheep in here at the moment to distract anything. Well, now that's what I like to see. They're both comfortable laying there with each other. Now this ewe, somebody make a lot of noise out there. This ewe did have to spend her 3 days in the head gate. That seems to be kind of a magic number. I know some may think that's harsh, but it's really not. I mean, she doesn't like it, but she can stand up, she can lay down, she's got plenty to eat and drink. And 3 days of that, and you've got a good, healthy live lamb that she will take care of. I will probably go ahead and keep this ewe and try her again next year. A lot of times when a ewe, if I have to put her in a head gate like that, I don't keep her around. But this is a first time ewe. She had cleaned the lamb off. I feel really confident that the lamb had nursed from her before I found it. I don't know what happened, that she got scared or confused or whatever. and it just took a couple of days to get things back on track. Now, I'll note this, and if something like this happens again next year, she's out of here. But I'm not going to have a ewe that's not a good mama. But it's all working out good this time. I think she'll be fine. I'll leave them in here probably the rest of the day, and then I may turn her out with some other ewes and lambs. A lot of times when you do that, they get even more protective of their lamb. So I feel pretty confident this is going to work out good for her. Now, I had another story I was going to share with you about this ewe. She's got a single lamb. She's a first-time ewe. She was a little hesitant about things. She actually claimed the lamb well. She was very attentive to it, was worried to death about it. But anytime it went back to nurse, she would just circle around and run away from it. I expect that for a while, especially from a first-time ewe, but it went on too long to suit me. So I put a halter on her, tied her up, stood there with her, and got the lamb latched on, made sure it nursed good. Came back in a couple hours. I thought maybe once the lamb had nursed, well, she would be okay with it. Well, she wasn't. So she ended up in the headgate jail. And I will say this ewe fought that headgate worse than anything I have seen. Some of them will fight it pretty hard for a little while, then they get tired and they quit. She was fighting this thing, 12 hours later. She would rest, get rested up, and then she would start again on it. Now, when the lamb would nurse, she'd stand still and let the lamb nurse. She didn't kick at the lamb or anything else. She just never would stand still for it. Luckily, before I got my camera charged up and did any video, I took her out of the head gate because I think she was going to hurt herself in there after about 12 hours. And she's now fine with the lamb. Are you going to get up and show off now? See, she stands there fine for it. Even hunches up and presents the udder good for the lamb. That's something she would not do before. As soon as it started poking its nose under there, she would start circling. So she's maybe redeemed herself. Give her a chance at another year, see how she does. If I have that kind of trouble next year out of her, she's not going to stay around. So I had a bad story to show you that had a happy ending, and all I'm showing you is the happy ending. But, well, thankfully there's a happy ending. Well, while I'm sharing stories about sheep, this ewe, this is an 8-year-old ewe. She has always done a really good job. She's got a nice set of twin ram lambs here. They're probably 2 days old. I'm going to turn them out here in just a minute. The only reason I haven't already is we had some rain last night, and I thought I'd let them stay in here in the dry. But this ewe had, I came home from work and went out to check on them, and this ewe had the lamb back there. It was laying there. It was not alert. I was pretty sure it had already nursed. But what scared me was the ewe was laid flat out on her side, her head back, one front and one back leg just stuck up in the air. She looked just like a ewe that had died and was bloated. It looked awful. So I hurried up out there, took a look, and she had that other lamb, the one back there, was partially delivered. All that was out was its head and its neck. Its head was swelled, the tongue was hanging out, the tongue was blue, I was certain the lamb was dead. And the shoulders were back, the front legs were back, and she had managed to get turned up on her back enough that she couldn't really push and get that thing out of there. So I hurried up and manipulated the lamb around a little bit. I got the lamb out. It twitched. I was sure it was dead, but it twitched a little bit. So I started working with it, and first I turned her back up and got her back up, laying up on her feet, and she was completely wore out. But I kept working with that little lamb. It came around, it started breathing, it perked up, tried to get up after a while. Now I know this is two stories here that, you know, you didn't get to see what really happened with these ewes. Everything I had to do to get it to turn out the way it did. But I'm not going to take the time to get a camera, set it up, show you all the stuff that's going on. And it'd be good, I'd like to show it to you. But the sheep come first, and I take care of them and video what I can. So I hope y'all understand. The ewe that was up on her back and the lamb that I really thought was dead, to see that thing come to life was really a blessing. And it just goes to show you, in a newborn lamb, regardless of how bad you think they are, boy, if you can get any sign of life out of that thing, work with it. Massage its chest, get it moving, get the heart pumping, get some air in those lungs, get that thing breathing, get it moving around a little bit. And they a lot of times will turn out to be just fine. A little slow start, but they will be fine. So again, a happy ending to a bad story that, sorry, you didn't get to see the bad part. It's not that I don't want to show it. It's just I'm not going to take the time to set the camera up and do all that. When there's a ewe laying there in distress, a lamb in distress, I'm going to take care of that. And then I'll tell you about it, try to describe it best I can. If you have any questions or anything like that, leave some comments. I would appreciate it if you're getting anything out of these videos, to subscribe, hit the like button, that normal YouTube stuff. So it helps other people be able to see the videos if you think there's any benefit to them. So I appreciate you watching. See you next time. For 2 days old, they're pretty playful.